Good afternoon. My name is John, and I portray one of Sir Thomas Dale's soldiers here at Henricus Historical Park. And what I'm going to do for you today is try to show you the average drill manual that would have been used by soldiers and or colonists here in the Virginia colony about the time of Henricus being built in 1611. And what I portray normally is a former light shot or cavalryman who was serving against the Spaniards back in Europe and now is in the colony and being used as a sergeant here in Sir Thomas Dale's fort to train the men how to shoot their muskets, because most of the colonists probably had not too much idea of how to shoot one of these. So what I'm going to do for you again is this manual, a drill manual that was common in the early 1600s that was known as Jacob DeGeyn's Exercise of Arms, very common for the Dutch and the English who were serving against Spain in that time period. So before I begin, I just want to point out to you the full equipage of what we know or think we know that Sir Thomas Dale's men may have looked like. And what we do know is that Sir Thomas Dale provided armor, essentially, for all of his men, and he did bring 300 men up here to Henricus, and each one of those men was supposed to be issued some form of musket. And I guess if you were fortunate enough to have a helmet and a back and breast armor, you were doing pretty good. So here we are. Bandolier is essentially going to have your gunpowder, your chargers or baubles. You're going to have a pouch with your shot or bullets. I carry a spare canister of powder on my back, very common to do back in Europe. And also on my back, which you see on my left hip, is a knapsack, and there I'm going to carry my mess kit or rations or whatever it may be. And also on my back, which you see on my left hip, is a knapsack, and there I'm going to carry my mess kit or rations or whatever it may be. So the musket I have is going to be mostly known as a caliver. It's a very small, light, mobile weapon. And in this case, it would shoot around a 50 to 52 caliber ball. And it has a range of about 200 yards, so a fairly effective weapon. And what you see lit in my hand is actually going to be the match cord, woven hemp, cooked with saltpeter. And this match cord will burn hot enough and will detonate the gunpowder in your loading process. So this is the effective arms, equipment, and look of a fighting man in the colony of Virginia in 1611 with Sir Thomas Dale. Now then, the drill manual. The drill manual of Jacob DeGeyn is designed to teach anyone from start how to load and fire the musket. It's not going to teach him how to march, not going to teach him how to fight off with divisions of cavalry and pikemen. Just how to load and fire a musket. So that's what we're going to do today. So the musket's carried on your left shoulder, let's say, shouldering your piece. The match is kept away from your bottles of gunpowder, and if the order comes in to start your loading process, you're going to be taught that you have to join your right hand up near your ear to your musket. And you're going to separate the musket from your shoulder, so you're on-shouldering your piece, and your left hand is kept away from your body. Now what you're going to do with your upright musket is join your musket to your left hand. So it comes down into the left hand at the balance point which you can let go with the right and comfortably hold the musket with the left. You have to make the average colonist or soldier who hasn't used a musket before comfortable. So teach them at great length how to be balanced. So now that you're balanced with your musket, what you have to do effectively is prime your pan first. This is your pan and pan lid. It kind of looks like a dish, and there's a tiny touch hole there. And your gunpowder will go into that pan or that dish, and we're going to close the lid on that. So your priming powder. Your priming powder is going to be found on your right hip. You're going to find that priming powder, and that would be right here in this priming bottle. You're going to pop the lid on that, shake it up, hold it upside down a little bit, and I guess DeGeyn in his manual wants to be clear that if you hold it upside down, the powder will be ready to come out when you put it to the pan. So you bring it over to the pan, you put some powder in there. You're going to close the lid over the top of the powder to keep it safe from the wind, certainly, and rain, what have you. Then you tend your match every third step or so. Make sure it's red hot, ready to go all times. And then you're going to bring your musket up directly in front of you, drop your right hand, and then you're going to let your musket sink down your left side. And you'll notice that the musket is always kept off the ground in DeGeyn's manual. You are never going to be loading with the butt end touching the ground. And the reason for this is very simple. When you get into combat, certainly when you get into platoon, squadron, or company training with your other men, you're going to have to load on the move. So if you're loading on the move, you can't be dragging your musket butt across the ground. So it gives you mobility to load and turn and march, and there you are. So once you have the musket in this position, the first thing you have to do is grab for your charger bottle. So you're going to grab a charge bottle here. You're going to pop the lid. You're going to pour the powder down the muzzle. Drop the bottle. It's empty now. And now in DeGeyn's manual for training, it doesn't call for a bullet to be put in the muzzle. But in battle, of course, you would. So you'd reach into your pouch, get out your bullet, and put it down there. So I'll get that out just to show you what that might look like. So in this case, again, you're looking at about a .52 caliber shot. So now the next command in DeGeyn's is to take out your scouring stick. Okay, to take it out of its pipe here. So you draw it forth. And what you're going to do is you're going to flip it, and in his manual he wants you to be comfortable with it. Again, it's all about comfort and ease. You're going to push it in so you can get good control of it to make it shorter, thereby making it easier to put into your muzzle. Then you throw it down, tamp down the gunpowder or the bullet if it's with it. You take it back out. Again, you make it shorter to control it better. You put it in the pipe and back down to where it belongs. Now you're ready to shoot. So, with all of these things being done, you'll notice that the musket is turned at a slightly outward angle. So therefore, if there's any detonation, it goes up between the men. If I held it up like this and it went off, it would go right up into my eyes. So in the manual, again, a slight outward projection on this angle. So now that you're in this position ready to shoot, somebody in command would say, cock your match. And if you didn't get that command, especially in training, cocking your match is a very dangerous part, because cocking your match puts it next to the gunpowder. So you have to have, in this time period, DeGeyn even has a safety. The safety in this time period is to put your two fingers underneath the match between it and the gunpowder. So you leave your fingers there. Now if you wait for a while, you may have to reset your match. So you're going to take your match out, blow on it again, reset it. And you put your fingers back. Now you might even be taught to test or check your match by seeing if it's going to hit the right spot. Again, another part of making the soldiers comfortable with their equipment. So I'll wait in this position looking down range. You would wait until somebody gave the command, present your piece. You present it forward, and at some point this little door or lid on the pan's got to be open. So we're going to open that. The next thing that would happen is you wait for the command to give fire. When you hear give fire, it means put the match to the powder. So, the command, give fire! And when you go to reload, you immediately take the match off its holding piece, and then you are going to put it down betwixt your fingers once again, and you would go right back into the steps of reloading. Musket demonstrations are a part of our job here at Henricus Historical Park, and we hope that you come see us live and in action here on our site, and we will see you then. Thank you.